Hi guys! Today we are going to be learning about the Silk Road. What was the Silk Road? The Silk Road was a trade route that went from China to Eastern Europe. It went along the northern borders of China, India, and Persia and ended up in Eastern Europe near today's Turkey and the Mediterranean Sea. Why was the Silk Road important? The Silk Road was important because it helped to generate trade and commerce between a number of different kingdoms and empires. This helped for ideas, culture, inventions, and unique products to spread across much of the settled world. Why is it called the Silk Road? It was called the Silk Road because one of the major products traded was silk cloth from China. People throughout Asia and Europe prized Chinese silk for its softness and luxury. The Chinese sold silk for thousands of years, and even the Romans called China the land of silk. Here are some fun facts about the Silk Road. Many of these fun facts will come in handy later at the end when you're taking your quiz. It was over 4,000 miles long. Marco Polo traveled to China along the Silk Road. Not all that was traded along the Silk Road was good. It is thought that the bubonic plague, or Black Death, traveled to Europe from the Silk Road. Very few merchants traveled along the entire route. Goods were traded at many cities and trade posts along the way. There wasn't just one route, but many routes. Some were shorter but more dangerous. Others took longer but were safer. At this point, you're going to pause this video. You're going to open up the Google Slides, and you're going to come to this one where you're going to click the image. When you click this image, it's going to bring you to a movie about the Silk Road. Once you finish, come back to this video, and we will continue on with the lesson. The next portion is where you can click the image below to read the article on your own if you would like to do that, if you would do that going back into the original Google Slides, or you can stay with me and I'm going to read the article to you aloud. Either way, at the end of the presentation is where you will find the questions that you would have to answer on the Google form. It'll be based on this reading. Let's begin. The Silk Road. Follow along as I read aloud. The Silk Road was a network of trade routes from China to Eastern Europe. The 4,000-mile trip spanned the northern borders of China, India, and Persia to Eastern Europe near present-day Turkey and the Mediterranean Sea. It linked the regions of the ancient world through commerce between 130 BC to 1453. Importance. The Silk Road generated trade and commerce through many kingdoms and empires, allowing ideas, culture, inventions, and unique products to spread across early civilizations. Name. European explorer Marco Polo traveled these routes and described them in his writings, but he is not given credit for naming them. The German geographer and traveler Ferdinand von Richthofen named the route in 1877. These trade routes were known as the Silk Road because silk from China was one of the main products exchanged. People in Asia and Europe desired silk for its softness and luxury. Silk was sold by the Chinese for thousands of years. The Romans referred to China as the land of silk. Items exchanged. There were many different products traded on the Silk Road. Most of the products were expensive luxury goods because merchants did not have a lot of room. Not everything exchanged on the Silk Road was good, though. It was thought that the bubonic plague or Black Death traveled to Europe along the Silk Road. Below here, you're going to find a diagram. It says from west to east, and below are some different things that came from the west and was brought to the east. And then on the other side, you're going to see some items that were brought from east and traded to the west. So you can pause the video and you can take a look through those now. Travel. Tradesmen and merchants traveled in large caravans with several guards. They moved in large groups to defend themselves from bandits. Camels were often used because much of the Silk Road was through harsh, dry land. Travelers on the Silk Road faced many dangers, including white-hot sand dunes in the desert, challenging mountains, harsh winds, and poisonous snakes. One nice section, the Gansu Corridor, was a relatively fertile strip that ran across the base of the mountains. However, to get there, you had to go through the desert or mountains. Few traders actually traveled the entire distance of the Silk Road. Instead, they worked in relays with each trader going a certain distance, exchanging their goods, and then hopefully returning. This process continued along that road. Routes. There were 3 main routes along the Silk Road. The northern route went westward to the Black Sea. The central route went westward to Persia, the Mediterranean Sea, and Rome. The southern route ran westward to Iran and India. History. The silk trade was significantly expanded by the Han Dynasty from 206 BC to 220 AD. Sections of the Great Wall were built along the northern side of the Gansu Corridor to prevent bandits from the north interfering with trade. Trade from China along the Silk Road peaked under the rule of the Yuan dynasty, set up by Kublai Khan of the Mongols. They controlled a large part of the trade route, allowing Chinese merchants to safely travel. In 1453, the Ottoman Empire boycotted trade with the West and closed the Silk Road routes. Merchants needed new trade routes to meet the demand for goods. This closure initiated Age of Discovery from 1453 to 1660. New water routes were found for trade. This change introduced Western culture and religion to Asia and connected major civilizations. This here is the quiz. You are going to take the Google form version of this, which you can find it will be the last slide on the Google Slides presentation that is located in the Google Classroom here. I will read through the questions for you, and then you're going to go and you're going to answer them on your own. If you noticed on the last 2 pages, there was some highlighting. The highlighting is I want to bring your attention to those areas because that's where you're going to find a lot of the answers. So the matching. We have Gansu Corridor, Age of Discovery, Bandits, Yuan, Camel, Bubonic Plague, Romans, and Caravans. You are going to match them with the choices on the right, which is animal often used on the Silk Road. The Silk Road peaked during this dynasty. C, nice portion of the Silk Road. D, sparked when the Silk Road was closed. E, tried to steal from merchants on the Silk Road. F, referred to China as the land of silk. G, tradesmen traveled in groups known as these. And H, disease spread through the Silk Road. So you're going to match the right side of the column with the left side of the column on the Google form. Then you have 4 multiple choice questions. It says choose the best answer. Number 9. Which product came from east and west to the west? It was A, gold, B, grapes, C, horses, or D, paper. Hint, hint, you're going to want to look at that chart on the bottom of the first page for that one. Number 10, which of the following was not a danger encountered by tradesmen on the Silk Road? Was it A, extreme temperatures, B, difficult mountains, C, Roman soldiers, or D, bandits? Number 11, which event sparked the Age of Discovery according to the passage? A, the closing of the Silk Road by the Ottoman Empire, B, the takeover of Constantinople by the Roman Empire, C, the desire of kings and queens to gain land, or D, the invention of the rudder. The last question, number 12, which statement is not true about the Silk Road? A, part of the Great Wall of China helped protect tradesmen on the Silk Road. B, all tradesmen on the Silk Road made the entire 4,000-mile journey each way. C, tradesmen traveled in caravans with guards for protection from bandits. Or D, the Silk Road connected major civilizations during ancient times. When you get to this portion, it says click on the picture below to answer the questions about the Silk Road. You're going to click on that on that picture in the Google Forms, and it will bring you to the quiz. Hopefully this helped and you guys learned a lot about the Silk Road today, and I look forward to having other lessons like this in the future. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye-bye.